Happy Halloween, everyone. Tonight, I wanted to do a bit of a creepier episode. So pull up those covers and turn on your nightlight, because we're talking about the 5 spookiest roller coasters in the world. Starting off our list is Verbolten. Now, most people don't actually know the full story of this coaster, so let me explain. This ride is inspired by the Autobahn, a German highway system. You're flying in a car down a highway when lightning strikes you and you fly off the road. From here, the peaceful spirit lures you into the forest before turning on your back and attempting to kill you. Throughout the ride, there's a ton of theming hinting towards the story, including an indoor section with a very spooky surprise. I think we all had a feeling this coaster would be on this list, considering it's themed to the horror movie franchise, Saw. The story isn't very deep, you're basically just experiencing all of Jigsaw's traps from the movie, but the whole vibe of this coaster alone gives it a spot on this list. The queue line is really creepy, the fear factor in the beginning of the coaster is great, and the whole ride just makes you feel scared. Sure, it isn't the single greatest themed coaster in the world, but it's still really spooky. Look, if you don't really know the story of this ride, you might be confused on why it's on this list. Like, at the surface, it's just a coaster with a huge wooden head, but if you look deeper, you realize this ride has one of the creepiest themes ever. It's based on a local legend where riders are chosen by the Wickerman to be immortalized in its fire, aka they're being tricked into trapping themselves in a wooden head and then being burned to death. The whole ride's theme is just so insanely messed up, and frankly, I don't even know how Alton Towers was allowed to make a ride like that, but I guess here we are. Staying at Alton Towers is 13. Now, I will admit this coaster isn't as creepy as the park first marketed it to be, but it's still a pretty scary ride. The theme is a little unclear, but basically there's a team that was clearing out a forest until they found an ancient burial ground which released this group of creatures called the Wraith from the forest. Basically, their job is to trap you in the haunted forest and eventually haunt the whole world. The story clearly isn't exactly the scariest on this list, but it fits the whole Halloween vibe really well. However, I think there is one coaster that deserves to take the number 1 spot more than 13, and that is... The basic theme, and I mean heavy spark notes here, is that the Smiler is a correctional device that will marmalize you, forcing you to always smile with a huge creepy grin on your face for your entire life. Throughout the ride, you experience multiple manipulation effects where you fly through the marmalizer, or the huge metal spider looking thing in the middle of the coaster area. But the thing that really makes this the creepiest coaster ever is that soundtrack. But what do you think? Is the Smiler really the spookiest coaster out there? Let me know in the comments, and have a happy Halloween.